Do you remember 2020? That glorious summer where we all pretended to socialize on Zoom. But let's be real, the actual socializing was happening behind the scenes through a little game called Among Us. For a moment there, Among Us wasn't just a game, it was a global phenomenon. Nearly 500 million active monthly users in 2020. Yeah, 500 million. It was without exaggeration, the most popular game in the world. What was it that brought us all together in that weird isolated year? A game about backstabbing your friends in space. Ironic. The funny part is the game actually released 2 years prior and had a mediocre reception at the time. As most of us already know, players took on the role of crewmates, working together to fix their spaceship. But here's the twist. Some of them were imposters, dead set on misdirection and straight up eliminating the crew. The game thrived on players embracing their roles, snooping around, gathering intel, pointing fingers, and of course throwing in a hefty dose of deception. With all that emphasis on playing your part and a sprinkle of normie magic, everyone became an honorary role player. That's right. A term once reserved for the sweatiest, nerdiest of gamers suddenly became mainstream. What made Among Us explode when gamers could have played literally anything else at the time? Well, for some it was the simplicity of the gameplay, and for others it was the pure joy of trolling friends into absolute raging fits. I'll admit, I took the game way too seriously. At one point, I thought that I could join the FBI. My friends, on the other hand, they loved seeing me at my low. Yeah, so long story short, I was that guy, the one going into full-blown rage mode. Anyway, this very specific mystical mix of a game is called a social deduction game. The term dates back to the 80s, when the very first social deduction game was created. In Russia, Dmitry Davidov was studying psychology. You know, how the mind works, especially in relation to others. In 1986, he created Mafia, a card game that pitted players randomly against each other. You were either the informed minority, the Mafia, or the uninformed majority, the villagers. There were two phases, a night phase where the Mafia players had the ability to kill others, and a day phase where players would gather to debate and eliminate suspects. Obviously, there's more to this Mafia game, but as you can see, Among Us is clearly a descendant of this concept that traces all the way back to 1980s Russia. Dmitry designed this genius game to kill two birds with one stone, advance his psychology research, and keep the rabid high school students he was teaching at the time under control. From dorms and classrooms in Russia to 1 out of every 20 people's computers or phones, the social deduction genre has come a long way. Among Us and other similar genre definers like Vampire Survivors were just the spark that their genre needed to get the ball rolling on different and sometimes even better ideas. Which brings us to today. I've had the itch to dive back into the genre, this time without my hating ass friends. And now is the perfect time. The social deduction genre has spawned 2 brand new takes that keep us playing our roles and turning every moment into hilarious gaming chaos.
Propose 2 people.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's not a fucking democracy! You are the dictator! Fire that motherfucking bitch!
And let's be 100% transparent. I'm really only making this video because I wanted to showcase these 2 new games. So let's cut the BS and get to the fun stuff. First up, Lockdown Protocol from Mirage Creative Lab. Like Among Us, it was low-key a flop at launch. But now, 3 months later, it's picked up a pretty formidable player base. The game is pretty much Among Us in first person. You're running around a spaceship, completing tasks. Uh-oh, someone's got a fucking shotgun.
Dude.
Was that you, dude?
Shooting. No.
That was you.
I don't have gun. My hands are empty, dude.
Okay. Well, then how the fuck did everyone just die?
What's up, bitch?
Oh, shit. I don't know how to get out. Most of you are crewmates, while a few dissenters are out there, causing chaos and messing everything up. What takes this game up a notch is that it's a fully 3D rendered spaceship, and every task requires you to actually interact with items or buttons in this 3D space. Plenty of room for all kinds of tomfoolery, especially if you're the dissenter. Another cool feature? Weapons are spawned randomly, so the game starts with a full-on rat race to grab them. Both the good guys and the bad guys can pick up weapons, which means they can flip the script at any moment. Bad guys don't always get the weapon though, so they might just hoard important items and hide them around the map, trolling everyone else. Honestly, it's not the most groundbreaking thing ever, but throwing this genre into a more realized world, especially with proximity chat.
So why you want to shoot you then? Like he had a gun.
I don't know.
So why he ain't stab you or shoot you? That sounds a little sus.
Okay, yeah. Kill me if you're gay.
I didn't even know she killed herself. Which leads to another point about this genre. It seems to have a high ratio of girl players compared to other genres. Naturally, this brings out the worst in us lonely male gamers. Desperate for some e-thoughtery. Let the simping commence. I remember this one guy who didn't say a single word the entire match. He just followed this girl around. Whether she was crewmate or bad guy, didn't matter. If anyone even thought about talking to her, boom, dead. It's moments like this and the games that allow it to happen that show the glorious characters we have in our beautiful gaming community. I really hope bro got what he was looking for. If you're desperately looking for your future gamer wife, hold up.
Jesus Christ.
This might be the genre you're looking for, but listen up. This next game is about to rock your socks. Dale and Dawson's Stationery Supplies by Striped Panda Studios lets you live out every episode of The Office you've ever dreamed of. In this golden goose of a social deduction game, you're trapped in a cubicle workplace with up to 20 others. Yup, 20. It might even go higher. Once again, there are good guys and bad guys, but there's also a manager role, aka the Michael Scott role. The manager is the sole decision maker who's tasked with deciding who stays and who goes, which flips the whole gameplay loop on its head. Do I kiss the manager's ass and earn his loyalty? I hope they get yours. It's beautiful, Mr. Manager.
Now get back to work,
Thank you.
you fucking devil.
Daddy, chill.
Or do I just do my task and keep an eye on anyone acting sus? The problem is, the RP in this game is so strong that people don't even do their jobs. Like, ever. Which, personally, I don't mind. The moments you have in this game, they can't be replicated anywhere else. Especially at your 9 to 5. Got a guy in the lobby who's a professional NSFW artist? Gather round and throw some suggestions at him for his next masterpiece. There's also a ton more to mess around with. Personally, I love writing sneaky little notes about other players and pinning them on their backs like a kick me sign. That's what makes this game so great.
And for pointing at me, I'm gonna call you a bitch and say it's you.
Whoa! Whoa!
You can't have language in the workplace.
This is a hostile work environment. And let me tell you, being the bad guy in this game hits different. They call you the slacker, and your whole job, do the least amount of work possible. You get your team points for smoking cigarettes, slapping people's butts. Yeah, that's a thing. The work doesn't feel like work at Dale and Dawson's. This game is even newer than Lockdown Protocol, and it's already getting better with updates. Just released a new map the other day. Well, what are you waiting for, gamers? Go out there and socialize. It's something we can all truly benefit from. I think social deduction games is a great way to bring us all together. A genre brought to the limelight by the glorious times of COVID-19. At least I was getting sussy during those times. What were you doing? Is RP cringe? I hope not. Make sure to subscribe for more cringe content connecting the trends of gaming's past, present, and future. Until next time, friends.